say two things about leadership at the higher education level, and being the whatever in these different these corner office sort of jobs. So I took a course as an adult. Two things struck me from the course. One was a description of management and leadership and the difference between managing and leading. And you may have heard this, but the sentence that I heard that resonated most with me is that you manage a supply line and you lead a battle. You manage a supply line. That's something you can control. When the truck's, what's on the truck, when the truck leaves, what route it's going to take, blah, 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 blah. And you can plan that and everything else. That's great. In the battle, everything's crazy. It's smoky. There's different things happening. There's incomplete information, inaccurate information. There's danger, risk, courage, reward, all those things. And there you have to have leadership. You have to make decisions based on that incomplete information in the instant, and you have to be willing to carry yourself through. And surgery, you do everything you can to manage the operation so it's exactly the same every time as the time before, with exactly predictable outcomes until you run into something that's not right. And then you have to use judgment and leadership and skill to kind of decide you're going to make the right decisions. And so those are two things that you do. You try to manage those things you can manage, and then you try to prepare yourself to be able to apply the right decision making when it comes time to make those decisions. What I developed was a series of values that I tried to use to apply, to kind of lay over the question that comes before me, and try to use values-based decision making. And when I got down to what matters to me and why, I thought of values, and I came up with a list of 7 values, which I'll share. I can do it quickly. And so the first is respect, that we have to treat ourselves and others with respect. Really important value, particularly in a diverse environment like a university where we're all different, all so much the same, but all a little bit different. And we focus a lot of time and energy on that little bit of difference. And so we have to treat ourselves and others with respect. Talk about that for an hour. Intellectual curiosity, really important to us at a university where our business is knowledge, either transmitting knowledge or creating knowledge, teaching and research. And so we have to be intellectually curious. We have to want to enjoy learning things and teaching things and participating in that. That's a real important thing. That's a commitment, I think, is really important, being kind of all in and doing your very best. Integrity. You have to mean what you say and say what you mean so that people can trust you to be there when they need you to do what you need them to do. Empathy is really important. Part of integrity is telling the truth. Part of empathy is knowing how that truth is going to be heard when you tell it, and to be sensitive to the message that you're giving to people. And then finally, fun is a value. I think it's really important to try to make sure that we're having fun. It needs to be, this is it. So you need to make sure you enjoy it, because, why do it if you don't enjoy it? And if you wrap those all together, then it works okay. You can't do 3 of them and not do 4. It doesn't work that way. You got to try to do all 7 at the same time. And what should happen is, if you make up a good list of values, really think about what matters to me and why. Make up some good guideposts to help you know what good looks like when you see it. And then make sure you're doing those things. What ought to happen is that day by day and week by week and year by year, your life ought to kind of work.